Hello and welcome back to Choice Bits of Bliss. We are in the month of March, and for the challenge Through the Rainbow that was created by Jeanielinguine, that is her channel name, we are doing the color red. And as you can see on my table, there's a lot of red colored papers. A lot of red. So I'm going to insert a photo here. This is what I had pulled out of my paper selections to think about and possibly play with, and we'll talk about if I played with them or not. I have my scraps of the ones that I did play with. That's fairly easy to discern. Please do me a favor. Linked below are all the participants for the Through the Rainbow Challenge. And friends, the list is growing. We are so proud to have more participants joining us. That is awesome. And in the Crafty Low or No Spend group. I named this group, by the way, and I mess it up almost every single time. That is so ridiculous. However, in the Crafty Low or No Spend group, members are also sharing their creations each month. And friends, I'm going to tell you, they blow me away how creative everyone is. I'm so proud of them. But anyway, let's get back to this month's challenge. So, here are the challenges that Jeannie, Donna, and I chose to take on. We chose to go through our paper category and decide whether we wanted to keep all of it or purge. Now, I am only going through my paper. I'm not going through my embellishments, my washi, and all of that in the color categories, because I don't have all of those items separated by color. The only thing that I have separated by color is paper. So that's what I go through. And as I went through my paper, I decided what I wanted to purge, what I wanted to keep, and I think there was a couple that I even put in different categories. They no longer, in my estimation, they no longer fit in the red group. So let's look at the scraps that I have left over. So it was a Jelly Bean Neapolitan Bean Bisque. This paper is called Frozen Spinach. It's from 2012. I know I bought this when they were going out of business, and I think the papers were like 10 cents each. I don't blame myself one bit for taking advantage of that kind of deal. So when I go through my categories and you see a lot of Jelly Bean, that's why. I bought it when it was ridiculously cheap. So this is the A and B side. I used both sides on my layout. This was from K & Company. It doesn't have a year. And it just looks like printed burlap. I'm not sure if you can tell that or not. And it's not super thin, but it is fairly thin paper. This was torn out of a paper pad. I have no idea what paper pad, but it has glitter and it is embossed. So I used that. I used a portion of this October Afternoon from the Summertime collection. The paper is called Fresh Fruit. I only used this side. This is what I did not use, and these were my contenders. This is from Jelly Bean Soup. It's Coordinating Winter Tortellini and Spinach Soup paper. I love these little houses. Love them. And I have them in another color category. This is from Jelly Bean Soup. It's called Sweet and Sour Soup. from that collection. The paper is called Sour Salt. I like this side. This is from Simple Stories, Say Cheese Christmas, and it's from, I'm sorry, Say Cheese Christmas is the collection. This paper is called Best Christmas Ever. I like both sides, and I didn't use it. And I know in the video that I went over my paper, my red paper category, I went on and on about how thick this paper is, but I'm telling you, it is thick. It's a good quality. This is from Pebbles, Land That I Love. That is cute. This I love. And I stinking love this branding strip. I love that. I'm going to use that somewhere. Actually, I may just leave this out so that it will remind me to use it. That's what I'm going to do. This is from American Crafts. The collection was called The Goods. The paper is called Rudolph. And on the back is just this lovely cream. It's a solid. That is gorgeous. This is my layout. It is a lot of red. And red is not a color I use frequently, so it kind of freaked me out. So I kept kind of layering to take away from the red, even though we're supposed to be doing red. So what I did, this paper, remember it had this natural, like unbleached paper vibe going on the back. I gutted. There was a mouse in this corner eating a strawberry, and I didn't need that. So I gutted this part here, and it's this grid. It's the part that I gutted because I knew I could use that. And then I used this paper that looked like burlap from K & Company. I used that to create my base and to cover this hole where I gutted it. So that's how I did my base. Then I used this sketch from Page Maps. I'm going to insert that here to give me a general guiding point. I did not follow it completely, mostly because my photos didn't really allow for the entire design, but it had these 3 strips, and so I did follow that, and it had this banner. I followed that, and it had a text spot. I used that. So I've done the first part of our challenge where I went through my red category and I purged what I didn't want to keep anymore. The second part of the challenge that Jenny, Donna, and I are following, excuse me, is that we chose 5 products. And my products are ephemera and border strips, ribbon, stamps and ink is my tool, and my technique is embossing for texture. So my product is ephemera and border strips. The oldie is ribbon for me. My tool is stamps and ink. My technique is embossing. So I cheated and I omitted. I did not have a border strip. I used ephemera from a swap that Ginger Bush coordinates on Love RTS in that Facebook group. If you're a member there, if you're not, I strongly encourage you to join that group. They do, Ginger coordinates monthly large swaps, and then she does weekly mini swaps. So last year I had joined a summer swap, I believe, and this is one of the pieces of embellishments or ephemera that came from that. So I have my ephemera. I just didn't do a border strip. I have my ribbon. I stamped and used ink for this stitch line. And this is where I cheated. Embossing for texture, I didn't emboss because my paper was already embossed. And I said, yeah, we're going to do that. And I stuck it on there. Now, do I love this layout? No, I don't. Do I hate this layout? No, I don't. It's okay. It is okay. It's cute. I like it. I don't love it. And that's okay. I used some paper from my red category, and that makes me so stinking proud. I am so happy about that. I can't say anything bad about that at all. But red is just bold, in my opinion. It is just very bold and noticeable. So I just use it sparingly. And this was a lot of red for me. It's a lot of red. And every time I look at it, I think that's a lot of red. So now we'll talk about the photos. This giant dog is my dog, Kayla. I adore her. And when we still lived in Alabama, when I would walk her, our neighbor dog, who was supposed to be put up, because we have a leash law in the town that I lived in Alabama. And his owners did the best they could. They would put him up. They used several different types of restraints. And the only thing that would keep him put up is if he was inside the house. He was a Houdini. He could get out of anything. And the second that he noticed that we had left the premises to go for a walk, he escaped and would come walk with us. Now, bless his heart, his escape nature, the fact that he wanted to be free and to run wild, ended up being his undoing. And that makes me very, very sad. But he was a little sweetheart, and he loved Kayla. He loved walking with us. He didn't want me to ever touch him. So if I tried to go near him to pet him or to pay attention to him, or if I even sat still and called him to me, that was a no. He wasn't going to be a part of any of that. But he would stay close to Kayla, and they would play, fight each other, and they would walk and explore. He just didn't want any part of me. I was not his human, and he didn't want any part of that. So that is what these photos are about. And honestly, I'm standing here and I can't remember his name. But Kayla loved him. He loved Kayla. And that was their sweet little relationship. All right. We are at the end of this month's challenge. Come back. Oh, wait. First, make sure you watch each week as they post their videos. And then next month, we come back for April. And we will do orange. Yes, we will. And if you think this is bold, orange is going to be another thing. I think orange is going to be another thing. It's got me a little afraid. I'm a little worried about orange, but we're going to do it. And we're going to rock it somehow or another. I don't know how, but we're going to. And I hope you're enjoying this challenge. I hope you're playing along. And if you want to participate, contact Jeannie. She is a sweetheart, and this is just a great, great idea. We will talk soon, I promise. You have a great day. Bye-bye.